Here are 5 drills that you should never do again because they're wasting your time and actually probably making your players worse. SAVI is smart, tough, and clever. And if you want to be smart, if you want to be tough, and you want to be clever, you'll probably eliminate these 5 drills that you've definitely done. How do I know? Because I did them too. Here's the first drill you want to eliminate. Defensive zigzags. I know it's a long time favorite, but the reason we eliminate these 5 drills is because of this one principle. Get good at what happens most in games. If a drill doesn't happen in games at all, get rid of it. If it doesn't happen very much, get rid of it. Or if it is training things that don't translate or transfer to games, you want to get rid of it. Here's 3 keys that we've commonly been taught about the defensive zigzag drill. 1, don't cross your feet. Unfortunately, that's just not true. If you watch the best defenders at every level of play, they cross their feet the majority of the defensive possession. Whenever you sprint to get from point A to point B as fast as you can, you're gonna cross your feet. And so the emphasis of not crossing your feet on defensive zigzags is just training a habit that's going to limit you as a defender. Here's the second thing. In defensive zigzag, there is no read, there is no actual decision making. You're just zigzagging in a predetermined pattern. Whereas in the game of basketball, there's times you want to channel, there's times you don't want to turn, there's times you want to go for an advantageous steal. Predetermined zigzagging actually eliminates defensive creativity. And here's the third reason why we shouldn't defensive zigzag. It doesn't make the offensive player any better. They're not doing any moves, they're not reading the defense. Basketball is a game of opposites. Offense and defense always working against each other. And any drill that eliminates the development of either side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, is an absolute waste of time. So get rid of defensive zigzags. All right, here's another one. 3-man weave. I was just recently doing a youth development session. I said, stop doing 3-man weave. So like we start every one of our practices with 3-man weave. How dare you say get rid of 3-man weave? And I asked them this question. When was the last time you did a 3-man weave in a game? And they're like, oh, even 10-year-olds are like, oh, that's right. We don't do it in games. That'd be foolish. I'm like, yeah. Have you ever run 3-man weave up the court? And one little kid's like, we did it last game. I'm like, yeah, and you probably lost. They're like, but it works on your passing. I said, well, you know what else works on your passing? Actually passing the basketball. The reason we don't like 3-man weave is because 1, it doesn't translate to games, as in we don't do it in games. 2, it eliminates any decision making. Again, it's a predetermined pattern. Another reason we don't like 3-man weave is there's no defense. Without defense, the offense doesn't get better. Remember the principle, basketball is a game of opposites. You want to make better offense, you got to make better defense. If you want to make better defense, you got to make better offense. You eliminate one of the 2 sides of the equation, you get lopsided and you don't actually get better. 3-man weave, waste of time, liven up the defense, get something a little bit more game-like, and pass in a more game-like manner where you're actually reading the defense. I've never actually seen a team that needs to get better at passing the ball to wide open teammates. I've seen a lot of players that need to get better at passing the ball and reading, are they open or are they not? That's the second sacred cow that we just got to sacrifice and get rid of. Here it is, the third drill that you just need to eliminate from your drill book. This one's going to hurt. Defensive shell drill. Okay, I know I'm going to make some people mad on this one, but here it is. Here's the principle and here's why. The most important and hardest part of defense to teach is transition defense. That's what every coach at the highest levels is most concerned about teaching, is transition defense. Most defensive shell drill, nearly all, eliminates the transition aspect of defense. And we're already set up in a set half-court defense and then working on rotations and whatever techniques or positioning that you're going to work on from there. That's not where most teams can get their greatest improvement on defense. They can get their greatest improvement on transition. So just by definition, doing defensive shell, which is a half-court defensive drill, we're not getting good at what happens most. Think about it this way. 100% of defensive possessions, there will be a transition. Made shot, missed shot, turnover, whatever, violation, whatever. There will be a moment in time where you're transitioning, changing from offense to defense. That's where mistakes are made. But in defensive shell, we eliminate that transition. We're already on defense. And then we go from that set position. Not what we need to get better at, an absolute waste of time. You can still get that using what we use at the SAVI systems, 2-way defense, but I'm not going to give that away. You can go to our website, you can go check out one of our courses, you can check out our drill book, and you can like and subscribe right here, right now if you want to learn more about our substitutions to all of these 5 drills that you need to get rid of. Here is the 4th one. This one might hurt a little bit as well. 10 in a row form shooting. Get rid of it. When you put one player in one spot and they just catch the ball and shoot without defense, without reads for 10 shots in a row, and then they're like, oh, I'm a great shooter. Look, I made 7 out of 10. I was recently working a clinic. I was speaking at a clinic, and a Division I head coach said, yeah, we do form shooting at the beginning of every single practice, and we measure and track everything. And over the course of the 4 years that we have these guys, they're 15 foot off the catch form shooting. Their numbers go way up over 4 years. And then he said this. He's like, now, that never really translates to games. Their game percentage is significantly worse than that. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, if it doesn't translate to games, that should be a massive indicator that it's a waste of your time. So if we eliminate where one person stands in one spot and shoots shot after shot after shot after shot because it doesn't happen in games, there's a defense, there's a contest, they move around, they run around a little bit first. If we can eliminate what doesn't happen in games and make our shooting more game-like, I'm not saying there's not a time to tune up your technique a little bit. I'm not saying there's not a time to slow things down and work on focus or a specific intent. What I'm saying is attempt to make it a little bit more random so it's more game-like. Another one that I hate is we have a line of 4 or 5 players where they shoot and then rebound and pass it back. What a waste of time. That doesn't happen in games, and it doesn't create a game-like performance. Get rid of stationary line shooting. It is a waste of time. Here's the 5th drill that you are probably doing that you probably need to eliminate and get rid of. Stationary ball handling. I'm going to give you 3 specific ways that you can make your ball handling better. Here's the first way. Just throw some adversary on there. It doesn't have to be someone, a live defender. It can just be someone that's trying to give contact. It can be someone that's trying to show a read for a change of direction. Just throw an adversary on there. Second, add movement. Ball handling is the art of getting to anywhere you want on the floor. Dribbling is the art of not losing the basketball. We want ball handlers that can get to where they want. We don't want dribblers that just dribble in place. We hate that. It's useless. So let's add some movement. And here's the last one. Let's add some sort of a visual cue, not an audio cue, a visual cue. And yeah, holding up numbers is a visual cue, but it's not one that actually translates to games. Let's hold up hands to be a wide open teammate to give a pass. Let's go show a contest to show that we need to protect the basketball and change our body position or get into ball protection mode. Let's show a stance on a defense to show that it's time to attack space and not attack a body. Give visual cues, and all of a sudden your stationary ball handling will put on steroids and you'll be getting a lot better. You want to be a more savvy team, savvy coach, or savvy player. Remember, savvy means smart, tough, and clever. All you got to do is continue to subscribe, like this one, comment down below, or head to our website where you can get drills, you can get training, you can get courses on how to be savvy. I'm Tyler. Stay savvy. See you next time.